Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mixed Bag of Wrestling. These are my thoughts, or this is my thought, on Triple H dealing with Brock Lesnar. Now, I'm not just going to say what could happen at WrestleMania, or what's going to be building up to it. I'm going to talk broadly about what's going to happen with Triple H in the next couple of years. This is not going to be a very long review, or thoughts. Now, I purposely left out Triple H's promo segment from my Raw review purposely. I really wanted to do a separate review on it, just like Mark Henry. Now, the thing about this, and the promo segment last night, well, Monday night, because this is being uploaded on Wednesday, it was a good segment when our wonderful Triple H, the game, said simply, after I had my arm broken twice, I went back into the gym and I was clanging and banging and clanging and banging. Take that from The Rock, because pretty much he said the same thing last year, that I got myself in shape. I'm better than I ever was in years. He said the same thing. That's what they all said. He said it, and we have to take that into account because he is God. The great game of the WWE. Sorry guys. I had to do it because you are right. He is the one that should be placed on a pedestal because he's done everything he can to get to the top. Whoever heard of a guy who was an unknown as terrorizing, rising through the WWE before marrying Stephanie McMahon, getting somewhere quite well into the business, then marrying the boss's daughter, then having kids with the boss's daughter, then seeing that he has some ability to actually show he has some brains. Unfortunately, he didn't do that good with Sin Cara. He didn't. But taking away from that, he's being groomed to run the company maybe in the next 5 years or so. Maybe. Because I doubt that Vincent Kennedy McMahon is going to leave that soon. You can say a lot about Vince. You can. For him not letting enough black people to run as a WWE champion, we rarely had them. The Rock was one. I don't remember the last time anyone else. But it's not the point. The point is that Vince has his problems. He has not done well when it came to steroids, when it came to the Wildlife Federation. And if you look at my Raw review, you see that I was upset that they used the old emblem, the WWF, but they took the F out. They couldn't make some type of arrangement with the World Wildlife Federation to do maybe within 1 month, whatever they gross, they would give them 5 or 10% of that to supplement for actually using the name for one day. I know a lot of people wouldn't agree with that, but if you really want to go old school, why not pull out all the old stuff that should still be in storage? I doubt they trashed it. And really use it. And use the full name of WWF. It would be better that way. That's just my thoughts. Leave a comment below if you believe that's not really the wisest thing to think about if they use that much money. But the point is this. Say a lot about Vince, but his passion for this business has made it as big as it is. We wouldn't have it as this good, but also this bad. And I'm taking away the bad for a minute, but we wouldn't have it international as big as it is without Vince. Vince created it. And like I said, there were a lot of problems he's caused because of it, and things they have not done right, but it's kind of not a very well balanced thing, but it's still there. So I doubt Vince is going to be leaving the company too soon. He won't. But it's not the point. Paul Levesque, Mr. Triple H himself, will eventually take over the business. Now, before he takes that business over, will he continue doing things like this? Yes. It's not just his ego. He still draws money to an extent. So he will still be seen on television. Now, coming to this feud between him and Brock Lesnar, and seeing this, I'll give it to you like this. The week before, when Brock Lesnar busts his head open, hitting the turn post from the ring. Yes, he had to pay several $1,000s for the FCC. Well, to the FCC, not my mistake. I'm sorry. Once you have a PG rating, if you show blood, the FCC has to be paid, and so does the network, because that's a penalty. because the network will have to pay for that, and then you have to pay the network back as well as for the FCC, as far as I understand. It could be one payment to the FCC and no payments to the network, or both. I don't know. But the point is, they will have to pay for that. But it was a good touch. That really got eyeballs on the product now. Now, when Triple H did his promo segment, like I said, he went back to the gym, he got in shape. His father-in-law broke his hip because of Brock Lesnar. His kids were crying. His big-chested wife was crying. And those are some nice implants. But he wasn't crying inside because he now has his id. He finally has his reason for living. He's gonna come after him and let's play the game, Brock Lesnar. And then tweeting his wife that tweeted with those big breasts, "Hey Brock, it's time to play the game." You can say it's a little cheesy, at least when it comes to his wife, but it's still something that builds into WrestleMania. Now, what do I believe is going to happen in the next couple of weeks before WrestleMania happens? For SmackDown, we're going to get mostly the same old of promo set, well, not pre-tapes, not promo segments. Pre-tapes of what happens with Brock, Paul, and Triple H. That's the only ones we're going to see in this feud. That's what we got. We know that Undertaker is now working with CM Punk. So we're not going to see much of Paul Heyman. He may be there a little bit, but probably not. Paul will be focused on Brock. So Paul will be talking for Brock. Very rarely we're going to see Brock Lesnar talk. And when it comes to Triple H, what he did on this particular promo segment was very good. It was quite short. And that was the wisest thing to do. The last couple of times that we had God on television, he overdid it with the promo segments. Maybe this time around, either someone told him or he really realized it, that the ratings went down when he had a promo segment over 10 minutes. So this time around, it was roughly under 10 minutes. And it was the wise thing to do. Keeping it short and sweet will keep the attention span of the people. Now, by the time of WrestleMania, this could still be a good match. Yes, last year the match was not very good. The chemistry was off. But the stipulation, and I'm hoping for one, if we get a stipulation with this, maybe a steel cage, maybe falls count anywhere, maybe we'll get a last man standing match, maybe we'll get an I Quit match. We may get one of those. And those will really hype up this match. It can't just be a basic, ordinary match again, because we're going to lose interest. I believe it will be a stipulation match. Something will be added to it. But I also believe, when it comes to Triple H, I believe this is not going to end at WrestleMania. There's a good possibility we're going to see Triple H again in the next couple of months. Why? One, Brock Lesnar is having at least a 2-year contract. 1 to 2 years. 2, now that there's no Senate campaign, they really need some star power. They brought back The Rock. They brought back Brock Lesnar. Who knows if a Batista may finally come back within this year, or anyone else. So they really need more star power here. So they're going to need Triple H. They really took a hammering last year. They lost $100 million over a 2.5-year time. From 2009 into 2012. 2009 and a half. Maybe halfway through the year. Into 2012. They spent about $100 million or so. That was a lot of money. And they're going to make that back up. So they need as much star power as they can to get the product to the people. So I don't believe that Triple H won't be seen in months afterwards. I believe he will be seen. I don't know what he'll be doing. Maybe he'll still be feuding with Brock Lesnar. Maybe it could be with The Rock. I know that The Rock sounds like he'll be leaving after WrestleMania. I don't believe he'll leave that soon. I believe that The Rock's going to stick around a couple more months after WrestleMania. And that's a good thing. We need more star power. So we don't know if The Rock and Triple H may feud together. There's a good chance it could happen. I know you could say, oh, what about John Cena? He's going to be dealing with The Rock. It's not the point. if John Cena wins the title or not, I still believe there's a good chance that Triple H may deal with Rock. Maybe he may deal with John Cena. Maybe he'll deal with more Brock Lesnar or ADR or anyone else if they do not have him stay in it for a little while longer. They're not going to have as much star power as they need. And they really need it. I don't have very good expectations of this. This WrestleMania may not be as good as we believe it is. I still haven't seen enough of a build for it. There's still 4 weeks, so my attitude can easily change, and I would be happy about that. But if I'm going to be honest, there's no guarantee that this is going to be a great WrestleMania. And after WrestleMania, it's going to be very important, because once the people see the product, you need to keep putting out a good product to keep them. And they really need that. They need Triple H to stay. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh my, you must be crazy. You actually want that glory hog to be taking up the spotlight from the younger talent? Do you want him to be taken away from The Rock, who we really need? You don't want to take away from CM Punk, bringing in Triple H. Look, I'm not saying that Triple H won't overpower everybody. That's not a lie. Triple H still loves to have the glory. And that could still be wrong, that Triple H may disappear right after WrestleMania. But I'm saying this. My thoughts about Triple H, at this time, we need him to go back into the wrestling ring for maybe an extra couple of months. Not just for a couple of weeks. We need him for a couple of months, because the product is suffering very badly. Yes, there have been a couple of good Raws and some SmackDowns, but the product is still very lacking. And in some cases, it looks like they're still quite desperate. So if you want something interesting to bring people back, yes, the younger talent is needed. Yes, the people who have not been pushed very well should be pushed. But you need star power too. And as much as people don't want to admit it, or doesn't want to see it, Triple H still has some very good star power. And he's been gone on and off for years. So having him back for maybe a 4-month period or 5-month period and then stop won't be that bad of a thing. It would be good if he made it all the way into SummerSlam. It would be. Keep him there until SummerSlam, then disappear. And that's what we need. And that's my thoughts on Triple H. Now, I hope you enjoyed this mixed bag of wrestling. Subscribe and comment to Zane's View. I'll soon get out my next review series, my debate of the week on the divas of the WWE. I have some stuff I have to do, so it's kind of late. I would have done it in the last couple of weeks, but it's been very hectic for me. So maybe in the next couple of weeks I'll actually have it ready so I can talk about the divas, who should be there, who shouldn't be there, what storylines might work, just like it was for the knockouts. I'll be doing for the divas, and I'll probably include for the knockouts the new people that have been brought in, Eliv, Ferlez, and Leda Tampa. I'll talk about them if I can, along with some of the people at OVW. I still got to do some research on them. So have a good day and have a good night, ladies and gentlemen.